quick minute here because I've read the book 2-3 times. The book really took me back. I'm younger than the Vietnam generation guys. I'm 67 now, but it took me back to all of the things that I remembered as a kid, starting around 9 years old, 10 years old, etc. And it's weird because it was just basically a 1 year diary, but you took the reader through so many things. I've even made a few notes here. You saw the Bob Hope show. It was through Apollo 7 the first time Apollo's launched, all the way to Apollo 11, their moon landing, all in that time, July 20th, 69. You took us through that. There's so much that we were talking about the Robert F. Kennedy assassination, which was just before you took us back. And as a side note, I felt, and you'll relate it, I felt through the whole book that bombs are raining down on my head every night, every day. I continued to hear the fear. Obviously, you shared it really openly, but this true fear for the first time in your life at 19 years old, knowing that you're going to die any second. Take us back. Just go ahead, take us back to that, and anything you feel uncomfortable sharing. But I'm just going out of your book of how it kind of moved me.
It's harder than carrying a gun and being in a firefight in a sense, because you don't know where they're coming from. And we were hit 3, 4, 5 times a week, and sometimes all night. And we got hit. We were in a base camp. It's like wide open. And we had helicopters landing in and out. We were a unit. We were a headquarters company in a unit that was the unit that was designed for the warfare in Vietnam, the 1st Air Cavalry Division. So we were the cav from like the Civil War, but with helicopters, right? We traveled on a new kind of horseback, right? And we got there in a hurry and left, hopefully in a hurry if we could. But the gunfire was a little bit more controllable than the mortars and rockets, and you don't know where it's coming from or how it could hit you, or what or where, and it's real because every time they lob those things in, right, somebody gets killed or maimed badly, and there's all that hustle to save us, all that. And then the automatic fire on the perimeter, and then choppers go up. We had patrols out at night, and we would try to move the patrol if we thought it was coming from the south. There'd be a LRP unit along a reconnaissance unit, or there'd be like a unit out there waiting to see. If they were coming, it'd be like a half a mile out of the base in the dark, in the jungle, waiting to see if they could spot anything or see anything. And sometimes they did before the Vietnamese were able to set up their rockets and mortars. The mortars were accurate. The rockets were wild. So the mortars, once you get savvy about being in the war, and you get, after I got hit, and I came back to my unit, I was a good soldier. I understood this was for keeps. And this is about life and death. And I was a good soldier to my friends. I was a good soldier to the unit. I was a good soldier. So the mortars, you could, when you hear the first and the second one, the first one lands, and then when the second one lands, you know if you're in danger, in your harm's way, because they walk those in. They click it up, put another boom, boom, boom. And if it's 25 yards to your right or left or above or behind you or before you, you see the way they're walking through, and you know that nothing's going to fall on you. But the rockets were wild. They were wild. You couldn't predict them, and they would even the way they came in, the noise that they made, and they were like wild. They were wildly anywhere, all over. They would hit a place, and it would be a designated spot, not an accurate spot, but it's a designated area. and they came flying in, and they were powerful, and blew things up, blew us up. And you scramble into the bunker, and then you start making these theories about, well, if it's my time, it's going to be my time. And all the GIs talk about, one guy believes this, another guy believes that. Some people say, if I get hit, I get hit. Other people say, we can't stand this anymore. And so I always thought life is a sacred base, and how terrible to be wounded badly or killed by an errant rocket. What does it mean? Like, those kinds of things face you. And then my fear was enormous. I was afraid. You live it, you eat it. You got to eat your fear. And it's real fear. It's a life and death fear. Like, the war is about life and death. So the chief tension in war is life and death. And we don't know that in America, unless you're in a very bad neighborhood where the chief tension is life and death. Could be, right? People have a code there that they know how to abide by or respect. But in war, the chief tension is life and death. That's it. That's what this is about. And at that level, many things happen. One is you bond with your unit. You accomplish your training to the T, and you walk around with that anxiety. If you like me, I think life has a sacred base, and I would, I can stand the death of it. What does it mean if these 4 guys died tonight? That didn't change much in the overall of it. The dead, and I knew them. What does it mean if we, when we hurt them, and 50 of them were killed? And why that didn't change the war so much like that. You think these thoughts, and you try to sleep through it. And thank God for my faith. My faith kept me going. My faith, and as I speak to this now, I can feel my anxiety. I remember it. I remember it.
Yeah.
And I pray for everybody who's in harm's way. And